University today with a video here from Phenomenal Travel Videos. Very good guy. Goes around, asks all the right questions. Goes all to fabulous places. Now, I got this from my friend Greg Morrison, who is of the dragon fame. Greg, who is discovered the dragon feathers in the Appalachian mountain region of the American dragon. And he sent me this. So anyway, he sent me this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you my way of thinking, because he sent me this about shape-shifting, which apparently these creatures, the Nagas, are coming out of this crevice. And they are looking at it and trying to understand if there's a symbology here and what it means, and is this the birth of snake creatures coming out from inside the earth. And he's asking a lot of fabulous questions. You should watch this video. It's called Indian Sculpture Shows Shape-Shifting Reptiles and Ancient Astronauts. Now, my take on this is, what is the material evidence here? What is the chemistry here? What is going on? What did they carve? So here's my way of looking at things. The first thing I look at is there any distinguishing features? Is it just like putty and somebody carved it out? Or is there all kinds of different inclusions and so forth? And the first thing that draws my eye is this. And of course this. And then what is this up here? And then why does it do this kind of stuff? Then, and of course this thing travels over to here and it continues on. What's that all about? Then I look and I see this. This is the thing that got me. And I'll tell you why. Because, well, first of all, if you're a Mudfossil person, you understand this is black vein blood. Black like this, dripping down, is from the vein. And there's another one. And there's another one. And they're in spots right along this seam. This I understand quite well. I also looked at this black area up here amongst this completely homogeneous, looks just like sandstone, red sandstone. Well, there's another reason for sandstone. Red ochre is blood. This, my friend, is a heart. Now, I have hearts of my own here, and I will show you why I say that. And this was the tip-off, and this here, and of course this is one of the heart valves. And I believe that is actually the valve of the heart, and I'll show you why. It's amazing. Now, here's how hearts work. This is a heart here. All right, now, you see this line here, that little thin line? You see these little black dots? Those are these black dots here. This is this line. Now, up above here, that right there is this. It's, of course, is all sealed over, but if you looked at that carefully, you would see that that was originally an area where blood entered, and I'm sure there was some kind of a valve to stop it. And it comes through, and this is the break. If you cut this through, you would see this valve cut in half. And this is what you see. Now, this color is from the heart. Literally, the heart muscle is just literally a very fine tangle of this type of blood cells. Really, it's red blood cells in a matrix. And I'll show you what it looks like in the anatomy. All right, you see this left ventricle that have thick muscular walls. The left ventricle. This is the right ventricle, the left ventricle. Now, that's what you see here. You see, this is the thick wall, that's the thin wall. Basically, it's a preserved heart. And that's an area where you got all this kind of stuff going on, plumbing going in there. And they break out of here because it's this fascia around there. Other ones come very well broken down, and you can see, well, here's something. This is not a heart. Well, it's not a heart, but this is the way you can see in and see the different colors of tissues. This is the fabric of that coats everything, fascia. And it actually makes like this little rind around and all the little white inclusions and so forth. I don't know how well you can see that from here, but this is that's the way the interior of fleshy body parts. You know, you have your blood and you have your whatever the tissue matrix internal in that particular organ or body part is. And they preserve very well. I mean, what's inside of here, if this was cut open, you'd be able to see a lot of things. Let me show you one a friend of mine, Phil Harris, found. First time out looking for mud fossils, within like 10 or 15 minutes he found this. Now watch. Now look at this. This is Phil Harris. What he did was he went out looking for mud fossils in this riverbed. I think he's in Tennessee. I believe that was where it was. Anyway, he finds this heart, and it was originally had the cover on a regular full-size heart, and he sees this red spot, so he taps it and it cracks right along the fault line. Snap. Pops open. Inside is the red blood. This is the section of the blood that is between the red and where it's been changed from, you know, oxygenated to deoxygenated. There's all kinds of plumbing up there. You can see in a regular heart. This is this same fabric as this. All your organs are coated with fascia, and it's, you know, sometimes it wears off and it's destroyed and it gets down into the tissue of the body, but most of the time, or not most of the time, but a lot of times, it's completely preserved, just like this. By the way, that's what they were carving. That's the stuff they were snapped right down through, and then they carved the face of it. And then one of these channels ran right down through it. That's the way it worked. Okay, basically it's somewhere in this area that they're carving, and then there's going to be that crevice, which is going to be one of these tubes. Alright, I think by now I've talked about the anatomy of the heart, and hopefully I've shown you what the valve structure will look like, where blood comes through this way but cannot go back that way. And I believe that's the case, and I believe this is the entrance of the vein blood, the black blood that comes down and gets circulated through the heart and into the lungs. And that's one of these valves. The blood goes this way, it can't come back out. Now, back to the original story of that thing being a Naga and coming out of the earth. A friend of mine, Kim, has this head in her possession, and it is a Naga head. And well, I'm saying it's a Naga head. I don't know if it's a Naga head or not, but it is an authentic, original, at one time alive head. Zero possibility that I am wrong here. That was a living creature. What it was, I have no clue. But it was alive. I looked at it very, very well with Kim. We didn't, you know, and I do this with a lot of people. I'm going to go, you know, we're going to go over this one here a little more in detail. I've done a couple of videos on it for Kim, you know, for me. I mean, not for Kim, but for me, to show this. And we all need to see these things. A lot of people have these things. Nobody will look at them, and they, you know, they can maybe make a little quick video and somebody just laugh at them. But, you know, they've laughed at me for years, and now they're starting not to laugh so much anymore. This stuff is real. All right, where do you see the thing that Tish Egerton found? I'll show you that quickly now because we're going to be going into that too. It's a no-toes. I found them originally, but she found some that are just spectacular. All right, I'll show you that, and then we're going to come out of this. But this is 100%, no question whatsoever. The lip skin, the creases are deep and folded. The eyes, the crack in the skull in the back, the throat. It has the tongue, the artery, the vein. Everything is in there. Case closed, 100% authentic. As far as the Naga goes, that's as close as we can get to what she has. And it would be cut off right here. Now, I thought I could see something that looked like it would run down into scales, but I can't be certain, so I can't make a claim on that. You know, I don't see any need really to go into another video about the Naga head. This is Kim's Naga head here. It's 10 minutes and 21 seconds long. Naga head verified using Mudfossil eyes. And Roger once again, Mudfossil University, another fabulous day in the Mudfossil neighborhood. And what we have here is the neck, and these are the blood vessels in the neck. Artery and vein. I went through this thing in salt water, petrified. Top to bottom. This is the throat that actually comes up. I mean, it's got everything.
eyelids.
The crease, the
And this
eyelids,
particular
the type of skin.
You're going to end
You
up having a
can't
crack in your face when you die.
You cannot deny this. I mean, it's just not deniable. So, and then there's a whole bunch of other stuff that goes along. There's a crack in the back of the head, of blood coming out of there, and this is it appears to be the damn Naga. I don't know what else to say. I looked at the sides here, and it does look like this hood, or whatever you want to call it, comes down along the sides of the neck, and that to me would indicate what I see in snakes, but I don't know. So anyway, I absolutely stake every bit of my reputation on the fact that that was a living creature at one time. And that's about all I have to say about it. You go through this, you'll see. And if you don't agree, well, good for you. But I believe that I have the authority now to speak about this. And people seem to have known about these things. They're all over the earth, these crazy sculptures and things. I got a bunch of stuff in here. Kim and I did a bunch of work on this. Look at these things. You know, what is this all about? You know, look, it's got the same looking head. You know, I don't know what to say. But I guess I've said enough. All right, so Mudfossil University, we're just looking for what our actual history was, not looking at it and laughing. Or at least I'm not, and Kim's not. All right, thank you.